An old railway tunnel in the Forest of Dean. Special units ready to deal with hazardous chemicals were on standby. To deal with the outbreak, fire crews had to bring in high-expansion foam to pump into the tunnel. Well, the fire broke out in the Moseley Green tunnel, which is in the heart of the forest near Park End. 2 firemen were slightly hurt when their machine went out of control on its way to the scene and then crashed off the road between Lydney and Whitecroft.
Throughout the day, acrid smoke billowed out from the tunnel. Fire crews drawn in from Gloucester and from as far away as Tewkesbury were treating it as a major incident. The tunnel hadn't been opened fully for 40 years. No one was sure what exactly lay inside. It had been a wartime store, and recently metal drums had been spotted near one entrance. So 2 units capable of dealing with chemicals were called in. Another problem was the lack of water supply deep in the woodland. A fleet of fire tenders had to pump water from their own tanks. The blaze was tackled from both ends of the tunnel. At the southern opening, a through draft cleared the smoke for the firefighters, but it was a different story inside. Wearing breathing apparatus, teams of up to 4 men at a time went in. They soon discovered that the source of the thick smoke was burning railway sleepers. It emerged that the tunnel had recently been used by a mushroom growing business. Empty metal drums had been taken in by the workers. Fears that chemicals were stored in the quarter-mile-long tunnel proved unfounded as firemen made a series of searches throughout the morning. But the underground blaze still proved a difficult firefighting operation. The problem in the darkness and the smoke was finding the seat of the blaze. Firemen deep in the tunnel were in radio contact with senior officers. Eventually, using thermal image cameras, they were able to confirm that the base of the fire was the pile of burning railway sleepers. However, they still faced hours of work to put the flames out, all the time operating in extremely dangerous conditions.
Right.
Well, the dangers that they're facing is, one, they're going into really a sort of unknown because we're not absolutely sure what it is that's burning. And the others, of course, are associated with the smoke and the heat that are in the tunnel and the very high humidity, which makes any sort of work very hard indeed.
In total, there were 8 tenders at the scene with a small army of support and control units. With smoke still pouring from a tunnel vent in the forest, the fire chief on the scene ordered up supplies of high-expansion foam. The idea was to pump it into the tunnel to snuff out the flames. But a short time ago, the crews using hose reels were reported to be close to putting out the fire completely.
And today, tackling a huge underground fire in the Forest of Dean. The blaze broke out in a disused railway tunnel at Moseley Green, which used to be part of the line between Cinderford and Lydney. It's still not known how the fire started, but the brigade has appealed for a party of school children who walked through the tunnel yesterday to contact them. This report from Jenny Craddock.
The crews had come from all over Gloucestershire and even Wales to tackle the blaze. Piles of stacked wood, probably old railway sleepers, were on fire deep inside the quarter-mile-long tunnel. From one end, firemen could get to the flames with relative ease, but at the other end, smoke billowed out, fanned by the draft from the tunnel. The main difficulty for the firemen, apart from the smoke, is the darkness inside the tunnel. They're having to take it very slowly, feeling their way around, moving just an inch at a time. From the other end of the tunnel, they have located a pile of burning wood deep inside, but from this end, they've yet to locate the fire.
It's very hot, a lot of stuff on the floor, as you see, very humid.
Okay.
What's in there then? What is actually burning?
We don't know, we're trying to find it.
You just can't see where you're going, really. You're just in limbo.
At first, it was thought there might be chemical drums in the tunnel, but none were found. The main fear was that parts of the roof might collapse.
It's extremely dangerous for many reasons. One, of course, we don't know exactly what's burning, and secondly, of course, that we don't know precisely the condition of the structure of the tunnel. From the information I've got so far from surveyors who've attended the incident, I'm happy to let the crews continue to work, but should the situation deteriorate, then obviously I'd have to pull them out.
The tunnel is on one of several disused railway lines across the Forest of Dean. They were used to transport coal from collieries to Lydney docks. Most were closed after the war, and some of the tunnels bricked up, but this one was kept open.
Recently, the doors have been left open. Now, a lot of school parties do go through. I've seen them myself walking through various times. I think it's part of their exercise to go through the tunnel, but legally where they should be there, I don't know.
Ironically, the only casualties of the day were 2 firemen who were hurt when their tender overturned. It was late this afternoon that the crews finally extinguished the blaze. Then they could see for themselves the damage that had been caused by flames that had burnt for more than 8 hours. There'll be a full inspection tomorrow. Jenny Craddock.